Nicholas DeOrio.
Yo.
Nicholas DeOrio, guys. We f***ing hate this guy. We hate this guy. We hate Nicholas DeOrio. I believe at 2 hours 26 into this VOD is the first time Nicholas DeOrio addresses the iDubbbz apology video and Ethan's plan to stop the lawsuit. And then the next VOD, he covers Ethan's apology, and we'll go through Ethan's response to iDubbbz apology. I'm going to go through all of that now, guys. So let's take a look. Let's freaking take a look.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we got to cover this now because this is the big news of the day. I was not really expecting anything significant to happen with this story, especially not so soon. We covered it recently on the channel. I think I uploaded my video 2 days ago. So, like, thank you to iDubbbz and Ethan for waiting for me to post my segment before you've gone and made it outdated. I very much appreciate it, because if this VOD was dropping tomorrow, I would literally just get all the comments saying, dude, there's a huge update. It's like, thank you, I appreciate your contribution and support, but I know, this was like 5 days ago, man. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get this thing out there. So thank you for waiting.
Oh my god, my hacking comments, my hacking comments, my hacking comments. This guy sucks. Everything this guy says makes me hate him more. My hacking comments, my hacking like-dislike ratio.
I'm gonna point this one out. This is where it starts off. Ethan did a response stream, kind of looping the same talking points. We covered Ethan twice talking about this, and the entirety of the discussion is like every single time someone disagreed with him on the lawsuits, he would do a stream saying, if you just, oh my god, bro. So
I always do the possible.
When Ethan was covering this, there would be like a person who didn't agree with it, then Ethan would be like, if you just knew more information, you probably would agree with it. And then he'd say, but it doesn't matter that you don't agree with it. It would just be kind of looping. We did 2 full streams and it was like the exact same response. I think we covered 3 different ones across 2 different segments that we uploaded to the channel. And that happened again, but then he did say something new on this clip in particular. So let's take a look at it.
Creator on creator trying to, hey dude, you got to watch what you say. This is real life that landed actual agents of the government at my...
Yeah, was that for the bounty? Everything after I said it is for the bounty, regardless of whether they say it's
DeOrio, commentator of the year, the best commentator of the year.
Thank you!
For the bounty.
door to interview my children against my will with the authority to take them from my home and put them in foster care. It's so...
I just saw Keffel's tweet.
Oh god, the
DeOrio.
heinous stuff is happening at the same time too.
This is unbearable. I literally can't get through this at the moment, guys. I'm struggling. My brain is shutting off. The endless dono noises, interruptions. He doesn't even say anything when he is talking. It's unbearable.
Rikita, known for using the ball DO due to being impotent, has responded to Ralph saying it is actually he who is impotent and that giving his drug dealer $150 extra was good business.
Did they let Ralph fuck his wife?
Allegations.
That's fucking crazy.
much different than it was. The minute those people showed up...
This is the thing I hate about streamers as well, man. Other than me, obviously, because I don't do this. The obviously fake fucking reactions. Listen to that fan interaction there, man. Wind that back.
$150 extra was good business.
Did they let Ralph...
This is why I treat you in chat with the appropriate amount of contempt and fatigue that you deserve. Okay, this is why I don't mask on stream.
Oh, due to being impotent, has responded to Ralph saying it is actually he who is impotent and that giving his drug dealer $150 extra was good business.
Did they let Ralph fuck his wife?
Allegations.
That's fucking crazy.
Much different than it was.
What fatigue? What school? So, sorry, I
Giving
lost
his
it
drug
again.
dealer $150 extra was good business.
Did they let
He
Ralph
doesn't
fuck
deny
his
the
wife?
Allegations.
Dude, like, he's fucking his wife. Thank you for 5. Thank you for 5 memberships. Thank you, Godspeed. Huge appreciated. Immediate just lame-ass cock jokes. It's like, dude, if you're having this... If references to cock shit is still giving you a reaction in 2026, you're going to a re-education camp. You're going to a re-education camp. I'm going to be real. You should have... Yes, being a cock is embarrassing, blah, 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 blah. You should have an acquired, a built-up tolerance, like, buffer for this stuff at this point. You should have heard cuck jokes, cuck stories, so many hundreds of thousands of times that you're just so over it. Yeah, we're past cock humor at this point. We're past cock humor at this point.
That's fucking crazy.
Much different than it was. The minute those people showed up, I went into work and
I didn't say it isn't funny. I actually said the opposite. I actually said I find this funny now. I like this now. I'm like, no, Tim Heidecker was cool and right the whole time. And funny. And I don't hate him. I'm past hating Tim Heidecker in any way.
I said, the rules are changing.
Because I feel like I've already watched this, but I don't think I've seen this segment before.
And even after I said
Sam
that,
Hyde's a fucking pedophile.
they took that as an invitation to be even more brazen and more provocative, and to say what he did, you know, to put.
And obviously, if you're not like up to date or you're just joining us now, this is in relation to the iDubbbz lawsuit.
What he had on the
DeOrio
on the
commentator
screen.
of the year, the best
I
commentator
told
of the
Ian,
year.
you know, the only time Ian's apologized is after I sent him the cease and desist, and I did not perceive it as genuine, right? And I said, and I still say, that if Ian would
Nicholas
issue
DeOrio. Hey,
Thank
I
you.
actually think you're a pretty funny guy.
a genuine apology, I'd probably think about dropping the lawsuit.
Okay, this is the significant thing that we're here for. I'm gonna love editing this.
And
later.
I did not perceive it as genuine, right? And I said,
So 2 days ago, Ethan said if there's a genuine apology, he would drop the lawsuit.
and I still say, that if Ian would issue
This is like why I drag my feet covering DeOrio so much. It's because it's all like this. It's all like this.
a genuine apology, I'd probably think about dropping the lawsuit.
That is significant because a lot of people missed that. And we didn't see it.
Lockball.
Thank you.
For the Gollum bounty.
There's people in the chat who are calculating it right now. Thank you to Kaifus.
I don't think he's ever genuinely apologized or reckoned with the fact that, like, what he did was so extraordinary.
Because people are equating this
So there's
to...
this preacher named Nicholas DeOrio. He has this segment called The Ultimate Rape Reviews.
I know.
No. Ethan Klein hearing the feeder story.
Yeah, that was on the H3 podcast. So the thing is, they're equating it to more recent
Just the endless fake laughs as well. It's like unbearable.
tragic events that happen right now. But Ethan basically set the stage 2 days ago. If you apologize in like a normal fashion that's somewhat believable, that he would drop the
Nick
lawsuit.
just started insulting me viciously on Twitter.
SUFFAH Nick. The Longman needs your Gollum stream. For the bounty, lockballs.
Thank you.
Narrowly.
I think that makes us... We're touching halfway.
Fucked
That's
up.
crazy.
If he did that, I would probably drop the lawsuit.
If he did that, I would probably drop the lawsuit. So again, this is 2 days ago.
It's really not it's not.
Jesus Christ, thank you.
Let's wind it back a
This
little
guy
bit.
wants
Let's
to,
get
like,
this
murder
bit.
my
It sounds like, guys, about 20 minutes into this segment, Nick finally gives a piece of commentary. So let's figure that out.
Sonic was fighting with Jake Chinatown because he called out Jake Chinatown's comment about Ethan's kids in the tree, and then Jake Chinatown clapped back and called him a psychotic freak in the DMs or something. Like there was like some fucking friendly fire occurring in that sector recently.
For all the crazy shit.
Ex-editor of Creator Clash. That was it. Honestly, these are like reoccurring side characters. I forgot.
Shit that guy said, but they're friends with him. And I says, how can you be friends with this guy and friends with me? It doesn't make any sense. This guy wants to, like, murder my children.
Dude.
Or he was engaging with the guy. I don't remember. He's fucking insane. The point is, and he refused to say his friend Froggy Tonic was being an evil scumbag talking about my family.
A lot of this did happen because they kind of stayed out of it, but what we realized when we were watching it, even before the content nuke and all this stuff, is that iDubbbz wasn't staying silent because he wanted to stay out of drama. It's because he agreed with the people who were coming after Ethan, or at least that's how we perceived it at the time.
But that's not what it was it, Nick? He wasn't just siding with the people coming after Ethan, was he? He doesn't agree with calling CPS. He doesn't agree with sending skulls. I don't even think he agrees with some of the most excessive criticisms of Ethan in terms of personal criticisms. Obviously, that's separate political criticisms, personal criticisms, I mean. I think Ethan does believe in a lot of lefty stuff. But I don't think Ethan even agrees with the extremities of the personal criticisms of Ethan. So I don't know where you're getting that from. That is like a narrative that you concocted at the time because you needed something to go after Ian and Anissa with. That's what happened there. That's what you do. That's what you've done with Ian and Anissa for years. That's just the case. That's just the case.
I think the
and then the moment Anissa fights back, you pussy out.
content nuke video kind of explains that in more graphic detail. But there was that clip from Anissa saying, like, when people disagree with us, it would be better if they didn't talk at all or something. That was an early clip that you can go back on the channel and watch. Yeah, their silence means something.
So
that
there's
was
this
later,
preacher
though.
named Nicholas DeOrio. He has this segment called The Ultimate Rape Reviews.
Thank you.
Reminder. While Rikita was spending $2,500 on snow, his children were forced to eat SpaghettiOs fed to them by the toe.
Like, all I ever wanted was a little fucking decency from my buddy.
And what he got was iDubbbz saying that they were never even friends.
You know?
And of course, Nick knows the truth, guys. And of course, Nick, an unrelated third party, watching all of this unfold from his bedroom over the last 10 years, Nick has been able to tap in and divine that Ethan is correct there. I don't know if you noticed that, guys. That Ethan is correct, and they actually were really good friends. That Ethan and Ian actually were really good, close friends before all this. Because Nick knows something that iDubbbz doesn't, clearly, and Ethan is a reliable source. So why don't we just believe that actually they were like best friends and this is a massive fucking betrayal?
Reminder. While Rikita was spending $2,500 on snow, his children were forced to eat SpaghettiOs fed to them by the toe.
Like, all I ever wanted was a little fucking decency from my buddy.
And what he got was iDubbbz saying that they were never even friends.
You know? So, you know, as traumatic as this lawsuit is for you, I don't want to do it either. Just make a sincere apology, bro.
I don't know if this clip wasn't seen or people are conflating the new thing that's like just recently happened for no reason. But I mean, this was like in the books, at least on the 13th. Yeah.
That's it.
They met like a handful of times. He did like the H3 podcast and they did like 2 videos together. They met like a handful of times as far as I understand.
I'm not looking to destroy their lives or get get caught in this like quagmire of a sick effed up lawsuit. I don't want that. I don't want another lawsuit on my shoulders. That's all I want. Just a little like fucking acknowledgement of what you did.
And I don't know, if this was bricks and minifigures, I would think that like, and this was a real cynical part of me for a second who was a little nervous today after I heard what happened. Is this acknowledgement something that he just wants to use in court? Because if it was bricks and minifigures saying this shit...
Yeah, guys, I will be if I ever get accused of rape or any other kind of misconduct, I will be expecting everyone who was on the London trip to be making full public statements of support for me. Otherwise, I will be doxing and suing them. Okay, I will be doxing and suing everyone else on the London trip. If they don't make public statements on the record defending me, if I ever get accused of rape or any other kind of misconduct, okay? They don't stick their neck out and say, I'm a good guy, because they met me one fucking time. That's the way it's going to be handled.
If this was Joshua Johnson, I'd be really fucking worried.
And I said that even before the lawsuit. And honestly, this...
Which obviously didn't end up happening.
Same is true of Noah Sampson. If he just issued like a heartfelt apology, I'd probably consider dropping it.
I thought I got the Digimon after the London trip. I don't think I had the Digimon at the London trip. Maybe I did. Maybe I did.
Just acknowledging like what you did and your part in it.
I did have someone ask me about it the other day. Fuck, I have my Digimon on my keychain. It's my keychain. I just remembered. I did have someone ask me about my Digimon the other day. I was like, my keys are on the table. And they were like, what the fuck? What is that? What is that? I was like, it's a Tamagotchi. I was like, no, it's way worse. It's a Digimon. They're like, why do you fuck you have a Digimon? I was like, I just got really into it for a little while. I was like, don't ask me how much this cost. Don't ask me how much this fucking Digimon cost. They looked at me horrified.
Losing eyeballs because of them streaming it on.
I forgot. I literally had forgotten. 30? I had forgotten that I had it. That it was my keychain. I just forget that I'm carrying it. It just is my keychain. And so I just forget that I'm carrying it. Yeah, it was $140 or something. Yeah, about that. It was a new sealed Japanese imported Digimon full color. So yeah, I did buy that. And I do have that as my keychain. And so Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna change it either. I don't think I'm gonna change it either. I think it's kind of awesome. I think it's like kind of awesome.
That's them cutting back to the Charlie thing. So yeah, that was his take. He said if there's like a genuine apology, he would be open to dropping the lawsuit.
It wasn't £140. It was like $140. It was like £100, maybe slightly under.
And that's what we get from iDubbbz today, presumably. Here's the reality of this situation. I'm just going to say this right out of the gate. It is impossible for me to judge. I know there's like back and forth on Twitter. Is this a good apology? Is this apology actually just a gun to his head? Does he mean any of this? Does Ethan just want it out? There's a million questions about this. And the reality is, it doesn't really matter. There's nothing that I could possibly look at without adding the additional context.
I've said that I'm going to be wearing a do-rag, actually. I'm going to be wearing a do-rag for like the next foreseeable future. I'm going to be wearing a do-rag. I'm going to wear a do-rag until I get my hair fixed. Until my hair is like satisfactory, which doesn't just mean the cut, it means like styling and everything. Once it's satisfactory, I'll stop coming on stream in the do-rag. But I'm coming on stream in a do-rag from now on.
That this guy is currently being sued by Ethan Klein. That is always going to be a factor. And we could sit here and speculate, is he being honest? Does he actually mean what he's saying right now? Is he doing this to get out of the lawsuit? It doesn't really matter. He's being sued, and that's going to linger.
Everyone, I am going to be talking.
That's not really a negative. It's just the reality of the situation. I think Ethan put himself in a position where he had to drop the lawsuit regardless. Because how could you ask somebody to apologize to you while you're suing them and say it has to be genuine? You know, what kind of metric is there to judge that? I mean, that seems like an impossible task.
Talking about a very important and heavy topic for me. If you're unfamiliar with the context of any of this,
like, could you imagine he put out an apology and Ethan's like, nah, not good enough. Like, that would just be crazy. He kind of put himself in a scenario where whatever Ian said, he kind of had to apologize, with the exception of Ian just doing this to take the piss.
I am going to be talking about a very important and heavy topic for me. If you're unfamiliar with the context of any...
Now, if iDubbbz turns around and goes, I actually registered this with the Library of Congress, I think he might actually be back. If iDubbbz turns around and said, hey, guess what, Ethan? I registered this with the Library of Congress, motherfucker. And I've got a team of cracked lawyers coming to get you. That would be fucking insane.
Of this, I'll give you a brief rundown. But that is not the main purpose of this video. I do think it's important to share a little bit of my side of the story, but I don't want to take away from the purpose of this video.
Every time I see iDubbbz, he adds like an additional...
Fake fan. The hair arc has been going on way longer than Princess Mantis. Fake fan in chat.
...thing to his background.
And that is to apologize to Ethan Klein and his family, especially his kids. Basically, Ethan is suing me for having rebroadcasted a statement made by Destiny.
I think Princess Mantis is coming on. I think we've organized that. Liquid Sonic managed it, guys. Liquid Sonic managed it. He pulled it out, guys. Now, I've had to give up part of my soul in exchange for it, guys. I have cut a deal that has left me for losing part of my soul.
Hair advice, wear the durag.
I'm on it, weird. Thank you for £10. I'm gonna have to play a friend swap game with her. I said, either pick a friend swap game where you can have the conversation while we play, or I will do an hour of some shit game afterwards, okay? So we'll see how that turns out, guys. We'll see what game we end up picking. But that's the plan, guys. That's the plan.
On my stream, I did display the very disgusting comment for...
And there are people who have had... I mean, it's really not like a winning topic that I can discuss here. Because it's either you're not doing enough to talk about it, or I'm getting the comments being like, you don't understand, they're targeting his family, the rules of engagement have changed. And to those people, I remind you that he can drop a lawsuit. So. What do you got to say now? But like... I just wanted to point that out. I think that's funny. There are people like, you're just a fucking degenerate content creator who doesn't give a fuck. You're childless. You don't understand. Well, I'm like, well, okay, that's great. He dropped the lawsuit, by the way.
For 40 minutes, and it was wrong. It was a comment from Destiny, and I even said that I don't agree with it, but it it sort of highlights how I knew that it was a wrong thing to.
When I watched this, I think I even said, like, is he asking to get sued? This is even stupid coming from iDubbbz, which at a baseline, he's a very stupid person, right? It is an insane thing to throw up on the screen. For the people out there who are like, Nick, you don't understand, he came for his family. No, I very much do understand. I understand having a significant emotional reaction. And I've stated this several times. That emotional reaction just doesn't jive with the principles I have regarding creator lawsuits that are not, by the way, founded in my worriedness of being sued myself. I tried
his principles, guys. His principles about creator lawsuits. When did you get those? Wait, what principles do you have about creator lawsuits? Other than do it when you can get away with it. Well, since when do you have principles about creator lawsuits? If you're on my team and you can get away with it, then you should do it. That's his principle about creator lawsuits. So, I mean, I guess this one does break that principle because he couldn't get away with it.
To be very careful when I'm talking about things. I don't think I'm perfect, but I don't view myself.
Would you consider opioids?
I don't.
No.
As cynical as you guys are about
I'm way behind. Lol.
Thank you. I don't rebroadcast footage of like people accusing people of being pedophiles or something like that. I don't. In regards to iDubbbz, I don't live in Canada. I don't have that to worry about. Other people do, and maybe they're gonna have a bit of more trouble in the future potentially if people are litigious and stuff. But I get it. It's just I'm still principally opposed to the concept of this lawsuit.
Put out there into the universe and show people, regardless of the point I was making, it was wrong. I was angry and I was like, how do I get this guy to, one, not clip me, not mock me and harass me on his live stream?
Now, this part right here, I have seen this. I've pre-watched this because I couldn't wait to stream to talk about it. I had to actually hear what he had to say, obviously.
Nick just started insulting me viciously on Twitter.
This was Ethan's charity lawsuit. That's why he canceled it and didn't make any money from it.
But if there's one thing that points to this being a genuine apology and not just something he's saying to avoid being sued, it's the fact that he doesn't back down on positions. Now, I don't even agree with all of them, but if he came out here and just sucked cock the entire time, I've seen criticism from Ethan's base being like, he's calling it harassment. He said, well, what did you want him to do? Glaze him like a donut? This tells me he's being more genuine because he's still making his arguments.
To put out.
And then also acknowledging where he thinks he'd gone too far. I think that's the perfect approach to a video like this, and it hits the hardest.
There into the universe.
And let's just be honest here, I don't think iDubbbz himself is really smart enough to be able to identify that and use it maliciously. Maybe I'm selling him short a little bit, but that's seemingly the best possible approach to this. And he's really not that good of an actor.
And show people, regardless of the point I was making, it was wrong. I was angry and I was like, how do I get this guy to, one, not clip me, not mock me and harass me on his live stream, and two, this guy's a fucking bully. I'm angry. I'm angry that
tweet.
this
Thank you.
Nicholas DeOrio.
Keffels appreciated the shout out.
I'm behind. Are we still doing bounty for mixtape?
Millionaire is silencing people and suing people who have a much smaller audience than he does, and can barely defend themselves. And so I'm angry.
And the crazy thing is, iDubbbz is like, dude, I can't believe Ethan is litigious. I can't believe he's suing people to destroy their voice, and he's targeting all these small creators. The only thing I can do to stop him is to broadcast a claim from Destiny about him molesting his own children. And you look at me and ask me, how did he end up making a good apology if it wasn't genuine? Do you know how fucking retarded it was that he even did that to begin with? So yeah, I think this is a genuine apology. I
I don't like bullies, so I wanted to do something that would...
He looked at this and said the only way that I could stick it to Ethan is to spread a rumor from Destiny that he molested his own children. And you think he has the capacity to make a... No.
Have an impact, and without checking in with myself of whether or not that was a right or wrong thing to do. I justified it in my head at the time. I was like, okay, well, it's not my words. And it's actually said by a really bad guy, Destiny. Not a fan of that guy.
And he did say that. He did say that. Now, if somebody clicked on the stream a minute after that and saw it for 30 consecutive minutes or however long it was on the screen, or was there before and clicked off, they wouldn't have seen it. But then comes my argument that most people who watch him already read it on Snark, because they're either the ones who are commenting in the thread, or they were people who view Snark as like hate snarkers, you know, people who are looking at it to find something to get mad about because they're obsessed with the war, right? I don't think that there are many people who realistically saw this from Ian's stream.
Me when I'm not political, me when I don't do politics, they're obsessed with the war.
That most people who watch him already read it on Snark, because they're either the ones
unless
who
he
were
means Snark
in
war
the thread, or they were people who view Snark as like hate snarkers, you know, people who are looking at it to find something to get mad about because they're obsessed with the war, right? I don't think that there are many people who
I don't know which one he means there. I actually don't know which one he means there.
Realistically saw this from Ian's stream. And I think there's even less of those hypothetical fives of people
not clear based
who
on
might
context.
have gotten the wrong idea from the screenshot. His outreach is extremely small. His audience hates him. We had more subscribers in a month on this on his own platform. We don't even stream there, right? I don't think that there are genuinely damages to calculate outside of the ones that Ethan and Gila felt personally from a man who met his children and would go on to talk about his children in that manner. And to their personal, like to their own personal gripe, then yeah, there would be damage. But if we're talking about measuring damage, I don't think he convinced a single person that this was real.
It's very clear that it was never the right thing to do. It was a comment about Ethan and his children, and it was disgusting. I said at the time in the stream,
the entire premise that he needs to address this comment from Destiny was always fucking crazy. He never needed to address it. And to use that against him like that almost felt like, oh, look, Destiny's done something. We hate Destiny, but he's done this one based thing. That's how it felt when I was seeing these guys talk about it.
So retarded. It's just so retarded, man. I literally did not see anyone saying that. I've never seen anyone saying that. And the point wasn't, Ian said, as part of the bit, this should be addressed. But obviously Ian doesn't actually think Ethan has to address that Destiny message. That's not the point being made there. The point being made there is it has gone so hard after these other people for apparently similar things, pushing the quote-unquote CPS lie, being complicit in CPS, whatever, for apparently similar things, but he has no heat for Destiny. That was the point being made. Obviously, Ian doesn't actually think Ethan needs to debunk, and neither was this implied at any point, that Ethan actually needs to debunk that allegation, actually needs to respond to that allegation substantively. That wasn't the point being made in any way, under any interpretation, only in your fat, lying fucking head. Is that the interpretation? Because it's an easy way to spin it against iDubbbz. Much like your dogshit coverage of Ian and Anissa's position before Ethan spurred the fuck out on him at the, over the Froggy Tonic stuff. Much like that, you were just willing to warp the truth, warp your impression of things, because you need to target the bad people, the focus of your coverage.
Were they broadcasting Destiny to prove their own hypocrisy?
But still sharing it and broadcasting it to people for 40 minutes. That was an
What, Nick? Do you think if some crazy psychopath said that you were molesting your children, the best thing to do is to go on stream and address that rumor? If it's completely unfounded and there's no actual valid claim tying you to that in any capacity, do you think the best thing you should do is touch the poo on that? No, absolutely not. Any rational person would completely ignore that message from Destiny.
Responsible and reckless.
Any rational person.
From Destiny? Now what would you do if it was Frogan saying that? Now what would you do if it was Denim saying that? Now what would you do if it was iDubbbz saying that? What would you do if it was Caseytron saying that? And now, Nick, you agree with iDubbbz's point. And now you agree with Ian's point. Thank you, Nick.
Who's not like a total fucking lol cow would have done exactly as Ethan did and completely avoided that discussion.
Thing to do, especially for parents. Like there are many parents with kids out there who do not.
Yeah, you can't prove a negative. You can't.
That was an irresponsible and reckless thing to do. especially for parents. Like there are many parents with kids out there who do not want to see that shit, and it's painful. And I'm sure it was extremely.
He empathizes with parents. I find this one funny. This is the part of the apology where he should have just said, "I've literally met Teddy before in their house, and yeah, it feels really weird saying that out loud." Like that to me would have been a 10 out of 10 apology, is the acknowledgement that he's literally met this kid in real life, and that's crazy. But I don't think that he needs to word it in exactly the way that I would personally find, like, as like the definitive apology. Of course, I think the majority of this is pretty good.
Painful for Ethan and Hila to read that shit and have it pop up again and again and again. And just because it's coming from a piece of shit guy,
and that's crazy. But I don't think that he needs to word it in exact. That to me would have been a 10 before in their house, and yeah, it feels really weird saying that out loud. Like that to me would have been a 10 out of 10 apology, is the acknowledgement that he's literally met this kid in real life, and that's crazy. But I don't think that he needs to word it in exactly the way that I would personally find, like, as like the definitive apology. Of course, I think the majority of this is pretty good.
Painful for Ethan and Hila to read that shit and have it pop up again and again and again. And just because it's coming from a piece of shit guy, and I'm showing it to people, like, look what this piece of shit said, it's wrong. It's wrong.
So Smaggle, I see what you're saying, and I think that he should sue Destiny as well. And I'm not going to turn around and tell. Well, I think that if Destiny made that claim and he's going to sue Ian, he should have sued Destiny as well. I get that. I understand where I agree, right, in some capacity. I also don't agree with like he's in Miami, not Canada, so he shouldn't sue, because I don't think that you should just target somebody because the law makes it easy. I get all that. I agree with every aspect of that. But Ethan clearly sued him because he's literally met his kids and they were friends. That's why he did it. Like, that's why he took it more personally. It's different when your friend is...
Sorry, I was muted. I was saying, this is like totally retarded cope, and it's insane that he just repeats Ethan's like self-reported state of mind as explanations for their behavior. It's fucking crazy. Obviously, you can determine more than just what someone says their intention is. It's like when I had that argument with Beckett like 2 months ago or whatever about Lyo Convoy. And he goes to me, he's like, oh, Lyo Convoy takes people in from online. He takes in online, abused, impoverished, isolated, raped, molested, autistic freaks from Discord. He adopts them and takes them into his home because he has an idea of Christian values, guys. He has Christian values. He just wants to take care of people. It's not because he's like some abusive, manipulative freak who wants a bunch of degenerate, raped retards under his thumb. It's not because of that. It's not because of that. It's actually because of his self-reported state of mind, because of his Christian values. And that's the same shit I'm getting from Nick here. But no, he just went after Ian because Ian met his family. Why'd he go after all the others then? It's because they're soft targets. Well, why'd he go after Ian then? Well, it's because he's a soft target. Probably the case, right? We could probably interpret that at this point.
He's broadcasting this claim about
you. We know that now.
As opposed to some guy on the internet that you hardly even know. Like, that's a personal gripe that he'd be feeling. So, while I do agree with you that principally he should sue Destiny if he's going to sue Ian, I also understand why he'd be more mad at Ian and more upset with Ian in particular. And I acknowledge that the lawsuit is extremely petty.
To do, and I didn't.
And of course, there's no other explanation for it related to Ethan Klein's political, personal, or business interests. Okay, there are no connections, there are no benefits, none of that, guys. Obviously, none of that is playing into his decision to not target Destiny. Obviously, why would it? How would it ever? How would it ever?
Doesn't mean he should have sued either of these people. To be clear.
I didn't come to this overnight, right? Like,
it's like, I can understand how to get, like, I've made this argument. I agree with this argument. I get from point A to point Z. But to act like you don't even know why he sued Ian, or to say it's strategically about silencing him, you have to acknowledge, like, if you're saying this lawsuit is petty, if you're saying that he's, like, emotionally invested in this, and he's taking it out on Ian, well, I mean, you have to figure out how you got there, right? How did he exactly get to that point?
To be frank.
Okay, Nick is conflating the idea that Ethan feels personally slighted at all with the idea that he's motivated primarily or to a significant extent in his targeting of Ian by their prior friendship, right? It's no news to anyone with any fucking sense that Ethan feels personally slighted when people say mean things about him online, that he takes that very, very personally and gets very, very vindictive about it. But that does not require this narrative about them being best friends before all this. They were just so close. He knew as kids. It doesn't require that, actually. And it doesn't require that being a factor in Ethan's vindictiveness for this at all. He has gone after Caseytron. He has gone after Denims. He has gone after Frogan. He has gone after Noah Sampson. He feels personally slighted by these people, obviously. But he wasn't friends with any of them. That's not required for any of this or any of Ethan's behavior or any of the explanation. So let's go. Ethan's statement on iDubbbz apology from yesterday. I think it's yesterday. A day ago, yeah. Let's take a look.
A little bit to chew on here. When did I say on the show that I would drop it if he made a genuine apology?
Last Friday.
That was last Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And today is Wednesday?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so
Reminder, when Ethan said that, iDubbbz had already given an apology.
I forget why it came up, but I was just basically saying that with Ian, if he issued a genuine apology, I would consider dropping the lawsuit because he had issued some kind of like lukewarm apology after I sent a cease and desist. I was like, well, that doesn't seem genuine, right? And so I believe it was 2 days ago. It happened.
It was Monday.
Yeah, so that Ian put out this video, and I'll say on his main channel, which immediately I thought was very good. That he was willing to stand on it on his main channel, obviously his biggest loudspeaker, right? And so I thought that was good. I thought that was a nice gesture to put it here. And let's hear his apology and see if it is genuine or whack. I thought it was genuine, and I am working with my attorneys now to drop the lawsuit against Ian
Bridge.
And he pinned the comment too. That was nice.
Okay, AB.
That was very kind of him to do that.
Okay, Ethan, get the fucking newspaper. Ethan, get the fucking get the spray bottle. Get the spray bottle. I don't want to hear AB pipe up a single other time in this whole fucking segment, Ethan. So get the newspaper ready. Against
Ian
Bridge.
And he pinned the comment too. That was nice of him. That was very kind of him to do that. Here's the video.
I am going to be talking about a very important and heavy topic for me. If you're unfamiliar with the context of any of this, I'll give you a brief rundown. But that is not the main purpose of this video. I do think it's important to share a little bit of my side of the story, but I don't want to take away from the purpose of this video, and that is to apologize to Ethan Klein and his family, especially his kids. Basically, Ethan is suing me for having rebroadcasted a statement made by Destiny on my stream. I did display the very disgusting comment for 40 minutes, and it was wrong. It was a comment from Destiny, and I even said that I don't agree with it, but it sort of highlights how I knew that it was a wrong thing to put out there into the universe and show people. You know, regardless of the point I was making, it was wrong. I was angry.
I think so far so good. I'm feeling that I like the admission he's made here. If I was still suing it, that would be a problem for him, but I'm not. I mean, but I'm not. Right? That'd be pretty wild if I was just like, psych, and now I'm adding this to the complaint. No, I was being totally genuine. I was being genuine with him, and I was being genuine with Noah Sampson too when I said the same thing. And maybe we can come to an agreement with him. I don't know.
Yeah, if Noah Sampson settles, literally never let him forget it. He won't though. He won't. He won't. We believe in Noah. We believe in Noah. He won't buckle like iDubbbz did. Here's the thing, though. I'm in two minds, because it is like iDubbbz does send the message with his behavior that this works. The issue is that I do believe that iDubbbz genuinely believes that he did something wrong, right? That's the problem, is I do actually believe these are iDubbbz values. So I do think he's being, like, you know, principled in his worldview. But the issue is that I have fundamental disagreements with that worldview for these reasons, really. For reasons like this, you know. It's like the exact same reason why it's so bad, like the way he neglected his platform and position, you know. He gives the wrong message with everything. He gives the wrong message. He goes out and he tells, you know, I don't even know how to format this, but he goes out and he basically tells, he says, I've changed, I'm crying, look at me, I can't believe how bad everything I did was. And the message that gives out is like, you're wrong for liking it. And that's not the right message. You should be trying to shepherd people towards whatever point of view you want them to see through a subtler mean, probably subtler means. But he thinks in his worldview, he has to disavow all of it. You know, he has to come out and be like, I've changed. I'm not going to say the N-word anymore, guys. When that just wasn't the play. And it's the same here. He thinks, oh, you should come out and say, oh, I'm sorry, Ethan, I'm sorry. No, that actually creates like a worse world.
Yeah. And I was like, how do I get this guy to, one, not clip me, not mock me and harass me on his live stream, and two, this guy's a fucking bully. I'm angry. I'm angry that this multimillionaire is silencing people and suing people who have a much smaller audience than he does, and you know, can barely defend themselves. And so I'm angry. I don't like bullies, so I wanted to do something that would have an impact, and, you know, without checking in with myself of whether or not.
So a lot of people had a problem with this part. They're like, what kind of apology is this if you're just going to be saying stuff like this? But my perspective on this was, I actually don't care about any of this stuff he's saying now, because that was what he just said, I've argued against a million times, and I've explained how it's wrong. But that's not why I'm suing him, and he's free to say that stuff. You know what I mean? The problem I had was the statement about my kids, which is the one he's apologizing for. So that's what I'm listening to. He's allowed to say he thinks I'm a bully, and he thinks that I'm harassing people and whatever, yada, yada. That's fine, right? If that's all he ever said, then there would never be a lawsuit. And it's his right to say that. So I personally saw this, and I don't care at all. I'm not offended at all that he included it. It's completely fine. And listen, he wants to make it clear he's not retracting everything he said about me. He's not like switching up 180. He was just saying this went too far. And that was my point as well, right? So you know, we can.
Yeah, he loves free speech. That's why Caseytron's under a non-disparagement agreement. Because, guys, he doesn't care about if you just have criticisms for him, if you just want to talk shit about him. It's just these insane claims about his kids that Caseytron was totally making, 100% making, and so was Denims and Frogan and Noah Sampson. Surely, right? Surely.
And continue to disagree on those points.
That was a right or wrong thing to do. I justified it in my head at the time. I was like, okay, well, it's not my words, and it's actually said by a really bad guy, Destiny. Not a fan of that guy. It's very clear that it was never the right thing to do. It was a comment about Ethan and his children, and it was disgusting. I said at the time in the stream that I don't agree with it, but still sharing it and broadcasting it to people for 40 minutes, that was an irresponsible and reckless thing to do.
Yeah, nice. I appreciate what he's saying here. And again, he's posting on his main channel. I mean, I'm not really complaining about anything. It feels like a nice, genuine apology. And by the way, I should say, we did not discuss this at all between our lawyers or each other. This he made of his own volition, without any guarantees from me or my attorneys that we would drop the lawsuit. So I think that's worth stating as well. This is kind of what I wish. This is what snark brain is. I know you guys, people like Ian, like to make fun of how dumb that is, but this is what it is. You got like riled up by a bunch of psychopaths online, into tricking you into thinking that was like a good, smart, awesome thing to do. And I mean, you're smarter than that, Ian. You have a better heart than that.
Literally, this is the exact sort of thing Ethan would do. 2, this is like totally normal behavior online. This is like in the content creation space. And remember, guys, Ethan has done like this switch up, right? Ethan, for a long time, was like Team iDubbbz. He was like Team iDubbbz. He was like Team, we're not saying the N-word anymore. He is still not saying the N-word, obviously. But once iDubbbz turned on him, all of a sudden it was, this guy's a cuck. Look at how this bitch cries at everything. Oh, you know, you've completely torched your channel. All this shit. When actually he should respect a lot of those things about Ian if you were to take his worldview at face value beforehand, because he agreed with Ian on most of these things. But for everyone else who misses the old iDubbbz, as they say on that one subreddit, you should not be looking for Ian to apologize. You should not be looking for Ethan to grandstand about how, oh, this is a really bad thing. This was way too far. You don't think that. There's no way you think that. Either you're lying or you've deluded yourself and been psyoped by this crazy Israeli couple. Because you don't agree with iDubbbz's new principles. You don't think it is good to apologize for this, surely.
Tricking you into thinking that was like a good, smart, awesome thing to do. And I mean, you're smarter than that, Ian. You have a better heart than that. I've known you long enough. You know better than to do that, right? That's the snark brain, bro. You know? But that's it. You snark too close to the sun and you make mistakes. It's true.
Especially for parents. Like, there are many parents with kids out there who do not want to see that shit, and it's painful. And I'm sure it was extremely painful for Ethan and Hila to read that shit and have it pop up again and again and again. And just because it's coming from a piece of shit guy, and I'm showing it to people, like, look what this piece of shit said. It's wrong. It's wrong to do. And I didn't, I didn't come to this overnight, right? Like, to be frank, I'm angry. I do not like Ethan. I think he's doing a lot of...
All right, chill. You already said it, bro. We don't need to, like, really... No, I'm kidding. I don't care. He can say it. He can say whatever he wants.
Damage to people online. And it changed the way that I was thinking about it.
I think what he's trying to say is his judgment was clouded through anger. He was on snark, man. I'm being dead serious. These communities are literally rot for your brain. Like, I'm so serious. We've seen it so many times, time and time again. These people, whoever allies with them just gets, like, eaten alive from within.
Unlike Ethan, who is on a career upswing. Unlike Ethan, who spends his time reading discussion that's healthy for his mind and is on a big career upswing. Big career upswing. Never been more popular, this guy, because he knows better than to get wrapped up into crazy snark harassment, except when he's sitting at a poker table taking screenshots of posts where Anissa's talking about a pussy hair getting lasered off. Awesome stuff, man.
Then and from without. But anyway, he's saying the right thing now, and I appreciate it.
I didn't think about it. I didn't ground myself. I didn't think about, like, who is actually being affected in this instance. And Ethan's family and his kid.
I mean, I don't want to be too critical, but apathy and joy are. I'm not. No, you know what? I'm gonna let that slide. It's just a little. I'll be honest. Okay, if I'll just say one thing, because I am trying to be gracious.
Who's actually being affected in this instance?
Really? Empathy enjoyer. Okay, I let it go.
And Ethan's family and his kids are being...
That's it. I'm gonna let it go.
Affected. I just because I don't like Ethan, I think it's wrong to find an attack vector that is his kids. It's foul. It's not okay. And I think it was wrong for me to use the Destiny screenshot as a cudgel to make my point. I didn't need to use the...
Thank you. Thank you. Apology accepted.
Destiny screenshot to make my point. There's a million other ways I could have done it, but I didn't. And I regret that I didn't, and I regret that I ever put that screenshot on my live stream. You know, that's the main reason why I feel like I do need, for myself, for my soul, to own up to this and acknowledge that I went too far. It wasn't okay. Ethan and Hila and their family do not deserve that. At the end of the day, whatever happens with the lawsuit is what it is.
Oh, guys, the goal ended. Let's start another goal. We'll be going for at least another hour on YouTube, I think. So let's do an hour goal. And we'll restart if we have to. But guys, that was a great time to remind you. A really epic time to remind you. If you're one of the 400 people watching right now, but one of the... Thank you, Spencer, for the $5.
Ethan is obviously capitulating to the shifting public opinion, and this is just a convenient, face-saving off-ramp to limit the damage and backlash.
And you can prove that very easily because this there's not really a substantive difference between this apology and the previous one, and the previous apology had happened before Ethan even made the offer to drop the lawsuit in exchange for an apology. The only reason the offer to drop the lawsuit in exchange for an apology was made was because he was getting pressed by Critical. But Ian had already apologized. He'd already apologized. So any delusion, any lie people are spinning about, oh, Ethan just realized that his friend was really sorry and he didn't want to... No. No. And we can prove that's not the case. We can prove that's not the case. It doesn't make any fucking sense with the facts.
You great guy.
It's going.
Yeah, listen, you know, that's really all I ever wanted. You know. And yeah. I don't care about all the other shit he said, and I don't think people need to care about it.
So it's just like bullshit say it's all he ever wanted. I guarantee, I legit would put money on the idea. This guy 100% would have tried to get a non-disparagement agreement. That's what he wanted. That's what he wanted with Casey Tron. That's what he wants with Ian. Or wanted with Ian. I would put money on it. Can't prove it. Would put money on it.
Ethan, I just asked Claude AI.
Who's Claude?
Anthropic's AI?
I never heard of that guy before.
Oh, okay. Well, I asked him if Ethan Klein is funny. Would you like to hear the answer?
No.
Yeah?
Sure, yeah. I mean, yes, Dan.
Okay. Well,
what exactly did you ask it?
I said, is Ethan Klein funny? That's it.
Why are you asking Claude anything?
What?
Who the fuck is...
Great stuff, guys. Really great stuff happening here. Awesome setup for a joke, for a bit. Oh, I'm asking AI questions. Okay, not funny. Shut the fuck up, Dan. But then the way Ethan handles it...
I mean, yes, Dan.
Okay. Well,
what exactly did you ask it?
I said, is Ethan Klein funny? That's it.
Why are you asking Claude anything?
What?
Who the fuck is Claude?
I think we're getting our answer right now.
Go ahead.
Well, it says humor is pretty subjective, so there's no objective answer here. But it can lay out the landscape. So Ethan Klein built his following on a comedic style that lands well with a specific audience. His earlier H3H3 content leaned heavily on reaction videos and commentary comedy, riffing on internet culture, calling out cringe, and kind of a deadpan, self-aware absurdity.
That's a very good...
Yeah. Fans tend to find his timing, tangents, and willingness to be goofy and self-deprecating genuinely funny.
Wow. That's a really good summary for AI.
Next paragraph. On the other side, plenty of people don't find him funny at all. Common criticisms are that his humor can be repetitive, that bits get dragged out, or that a lot of it depends on shared context and in-jokes that just don't land if you're not already a fan.
That last one's fair.
He's also a pretty polarizing figure for reasons beyond comedy.
Oh, no.
Feuds, controversies,
Jewish.
political commentary.
He acts like...
Because I'm Jewish, because everyone hates me just for being Jewish.
Jewish. Which colors how people judge whether he's actually funny versus just loud. Oof.
Not loud.
Damn.
I'm not like...
So it really
loud.
comes down to taste, you know? If you like internet commentary humor,
subjective.
improvised podcast riffing, and chaotic, goofy energy, you'll probably find him funny. If you prefer tighter, more crafted, intelligent comedy.
What?
You're not plugged into that online ecosystem.
Wait.
It just might not click.
Stop! Lena, say what you just whispered in my ear. Go ahead.
I asked if AB can give me some of his ice cream because he forgot mine.
I wasn't gonna eat mine anyway, so yeah, she could definitely have mine.
Why'd you order it if you weren't gonna eat it?
I assume that's the end of the segment. I can only assume that's the end of the iDubbbz segment, guys. I'm not going to watch any more of this awful podcast to figure that out. Let's go back to this awful live streamer instead, guys, because at 3 hours into this VOD, he talks about that segment that we just watched. So we go from one unprincipled, unintelligent, unfunny, loser fucking content creator to another, and then back again, if it loads. If Internet Archive wants to buffer. Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships, Quelly. Huge appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. We're gonna load.
I'm going to cover this for months, but we had no E in April, so I didn't get a chance to do it. So I said before VidCon I'd cover it. We're at literally the last segment. Thank you. So let's take a look
After an amazing start here, guys.
At the H3 podcast and their response to iDubbbz's apology. Now keep in mind the lawsuit is already dropped.
I really like you.
Yeah.
Why?
So, yeah, so...
Oh wait, he's saying the no E in April and shit, that's all over. So he'll be responding to that Anissa clip soon, right?
I forget why it came up, but I was just basically saying that.
Dude, for the bounty, yeah.
He's had 2 months to come up with a few jokes to fire back at Anissa. So hopefully we're getting that response soon. Have we got that, guys? Do I have the first... Can someone send me the clip of Nick responding to Anissa that one time? Where he goes into that, like, absurd fucking rage. He's like, you stupid bitch and your ugly tattoos. Does anyone have that for me? Can anyone send that to me?
Yes, thank you.
Nick. I really like you.
With Ian, if he issued a genuine apology, I would consider dropping the lawsuit because he had issued some kind of like lukewarm apology.
He said this about Noah Sampson too, by the way.
Can I say something to you, Nick?
Thank you.
Apology after I sent a cease and desist. I was like, well, that doesn't seem genuine, right? And so I believe it was 2 days ago. It happened.
It was Monday.
It was on the 23rd.
I really like you.
Not the 23rd. What am I? That's not even correct. What the fuck? If today is the 17th, then yesterday was...
Stoic.
Hebrews! It was on the 13th.
Yeah, so...
The 13th, then the 15th, he decided not to sue him.
Yeah, Nick, these wigglers were made by, like, some doxer or something, I think. I'm pretty sure. So, Nick, you need to take these off your stream, right fucking now?
Ian put out this video, and I'll say...
Stoic.
Hebrews! Thank you.
Channel, which immediately I thought was very good. That he was willing to stand on it on his main channel, obviously his biggest loudspeaker, right? And so I don't
know if we gave him credit for that, but that is something to point out. He's doing it on the specific social media site where he posted the content cop and all the other stuff.
Hebrews.
That would be where most people would see it.
I thought that was good.
This guy is such a fucking retard. It's so funny watching him mangle his desperate, retarded talking points, man. Did you hear what he did? Heard what happened there? That is an extra thing to think about. As he put it on his main channel, that is where... And he was about to say what you would say there. That's where he made the original statement. That would be the relevant point to make. But he didn't make the statement on his main channel, did he? Because that's where he posts, like, the content cops and stuff. What fucking relevance does that have? Yeah, it's his main channel. It's the place where most people are going to see it. Obviously, it's where he posts his content cops. This statement has nothing to do with the content cops. If you want to make a further point, oh, it's a nice gesture that Ian's doing this on his main channel, making sure it gets maximum reach. You could say something like that, but it's obviously not what you were reaching for. For
the people who are like, oh, he's not genuine. If Ethan was setting a trap like the bricks and minifigures people, this is like lawsuit ending. Then he would have like snagged it. This is an incredible gamble by iDubbbz. When you use the it's a lawsuit so he couldn't be genuine part, you have to also consider the other end of that. Well, if Ethan didn't accept this apology, this would end the lawsuit and he would lose.
I don't know that that's true. Why do people say this shit? Seriously, I don't... Is it really that fucking hard to say, I don't know anything about the law especially not Canadian law. And even if I did know about the law, I'm not a lawyer and have no experience in cases, so I've got no basis to judge how this would shake out. However, I do think there's a likelihood that it could look bad in a legal case, in a lawsuit, for you to admit wrongdoing. You could very easily say that, but what does this fucking fat, fucking stupid, fucking retard say instead? He goes, well, if he said this and Ethan didn't accept, he would have lost. Based on what, man? Based on what? Based on because he said he did something wrong? I don't think that's the only criteria required for proving a defamation claim in a court, as far as I'm aware, you stupid fat fuck. It's just the endless, awful analysis just pisses me off so bad.
I mean, but...
Did Ethan promise not to sue Anissa? Well, the fun part is Anissa didn't say the thing the suit was about. I don't think Ethan even said that he'd never sue iDubbbz again. So, Anissa's not relevant to this.
I'm not. Right? That'd be pretty wild if I was just like, psych! And now I'm adding...
iDubbbz released this knowing full well that he would not be sued the next day, or he would be bankrupted the next day. And there was literally no in between. That is why I give him credit on this one. It is a tremendous fucking gamble.
Here's a totally made up false dichotomy that I've created in my head. And guys, you need to believe this, because otherwise it's really likely that you're gonna have some pushback for my take, and I'm gonna get below 95% like ratio on my video, and I'm gonna fucking myself.
I actually don't care about any of this stuff he's saying now, because listen, what he just said, I've argued against a million times, and I've explained how it's wrong. But that's not why I'm suing him, and he's free to say that stuff. You know what I mean? The problem I had was the statement about my kids, which is the one he's apologizing for. So that's what I'm listening to. He's allowed.
Yep, that's the correct response to give.
No more analysis required, guys. No more analysis required. That's the correct response to give. Ethan, you've made my job very easy today. Ethan, thank you for making my job a little bit easier today. Thank you, Ethan. That's the only analysis I need to give. Don't analyze it in the context of any other lawsuits or what the motivations for those would be. Don't analyze it in the context of Casey Tron having a non-disparagement agreement against her. It's the right answer, so we can just move on. Thank you for the optics, Ethan. Thank you for the optics.
Say he thinks I'm a bully, and he thinks that I'm harassing people and whatever, yada, yada. That's fine, right? If that's all he ever said, then there would never be a lawsuit. And it's his right to say that. So I personally saw this, and I don't care at all.
No reference to the other lawsuits, Nick?
I'm not offended at all.
No, you don't see any incongruence here. You're not going to point out any nonsense explanation being given that's disproven by the other lawsuits and the simple timeline of this single lawsuit itself?
Included it. It's completely fine.
Now, there are people who are going to disagree with him saying that and say that he's not being truthful, but this is the best order of words that he could put out to explain his thoughts on it. Yeah, ding, 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 100%.
And listen, he wants to make it clear he's not retracting everything he said about me. He's not like switching up 180. He was just saying that
if he switched up 180, that would be a definitive look that this was not a genuine statement. Because principled people don't just abandon every aspect of their argument the minute that they get sued. It's not believable.
This went too far. And that was my point as well, right? So you know, we can continue to disagree. I'm not
The thing is, Noah has expressed time and time again that he believes that Ethan is the things that he has stated, right?
What are those?
So
what are the claims?
It's a bit different in that regard.
What are the claims, Nick?
They're complaining about anything.
And wait, why is that different? Why is that different in a defamation context, Nick? You seem to be implying that makes Noah's more legitimate, that he believes the things he's saying. But my understanding is that defamation lawsuits are for when the person does not believe the thing they're saying. So you have to explain this one to me, you fat fucking idiot.
Like, iDubbbz can come forward. His apology is just like, yeah, I platformed this thing I didn't believe in because I was angry. I don't think that Noah would do that, because I don't think that would be true.
Anything feels like a nice, genuine apology. And by the way, I should say...
So, Nick, your position is that Noah Sampson is being sued for claims that he believes to be true. And you're not vocally defending him?
Noah's going to double down. I think that he will, yeah.
We did not discuss this at all between our lawyers or each other. This he made of his own volition without any guarantees from me or my attorneys that we would drop the lawsuit. So I think that's worth stating as well. This is kind of what I wish, this is what snark brain is. I know you guys people like Ian like to make fun of how dumb that is. But this is what it is. You got like riled up by a bunch of psychopaths online.
Dan was arguing the judge is going to look at the technical definition of genocide support, find it not true, and boom, there's the case for Ethan. Yeah, Dan also made thousands of dollars worth of bets with Spicy Chatters that Dan Clancy would be gone by January 2025 or some shit. So I'll be looking to Dan for all my analysis.
To tricking you into thinking that was like a good, smart, awesome thing to do. And I mean, you're smarter than that, Ian. You have a better heart than that. I'm
And I will not like. I mean, iDubbbz' position here is one of the dumbest I've ever seen. His argument is that he was really upset, and then he read this Destiny thing, and he thought it would be like a way to hurt Ethan, and he just didn't consider like that would be viewed negatively, not negatively, but he platformed it knowing it wasn't accurate because he knew it would bother him. It's just an insane thing to admit, but one that he has to because it's true. I just don't know how he found himself in that position. I mean, last segment we were talking about Tectone just basically slandering Hassan Piker, saying that he's like a fucking copyright abuser targeting YouTubers like Tectone, for example. And it's like, I don't know how you could find yourself in such a situation. That seems like an order of events that no normal person would do. Like, why would you willingly go out and slander somebody? Why would you willingly go out? There's a million ways to say that Ethan is running from Destiny, as incorrect as I think that was at the time, without platforming an allegation that children you've met in real life were like assaulted. It's just so stupid to do that. I don't know what he was thinking at all.
knowing you long enough. You know better than to do that.
Because I get the argument he was trying to make. Oh, he won't address this because he's scared of Destiny. But I just don't understand how he also didn't see how it would be interpreted by a lot of people.
That, right? That's the snark brain, bro.
Okay, well, Nick, I think he probably thought that he did a very clear job of illustrating his point and denouncing the statement in his live stream, and he thought there wouldn't be a bunch of, or well, I guess he didn't foresee that there would be a bunch of people so dishonest, such low-life, dishonest fucking retards, that after an entire career of platforming insane allegations of people against people, of making insane jokes about people's personal lives, they would then suddenly flip on a dime, pretend to not understand, and hand-wring endlessly for fucking weeks about it. He probably didn't foresee that, Nick. He probably assumed, to some extent, however foolishly, that people like you actually believed what they pretend to believe.
Bro, you know? What? That's it.
People saying it's so fucked up. It's also just, I can't compute it. I struggle with that sometimes when I'm covering this stuff and trying to explain it, because I personally don't know how they've arrived here.
Have you considered you might find it easier to deliver a cohesive understanding of what's going on in a situation if you didn't feel the need to fucking lie? If you didn't feel the need to fucking lie and distort for the sake of your content. Do you think maybe you'd be able to keep up with it more? Things would make more sense. You wouldn't be so surprised by developments. You wouldn't feel like, oh, how do I make this make sense with the rest of my coverage every week?
You snark too close to the sun and you make mistakes. It's true.
Especially for parents. Like, there are many parents with kids out there who do not want to see that shit, and it's painful. And I'm sure it was extremely painful for Ethan and Hila to read that shit and have it pop up again and again and again.
Like, he's been to their house. He's met their family. It's like, dude, why would you do that?
Because it's coming from a piece of shit guy.
It's just that this is what this fucking retard does. When he has nothing to say, nothing to add, when the actual analysis of a situation is difficult for his narrative, he will just repeat the same bullshit tired line again and again. Either he'll go, "Our silence means something, our silence means something, our silence means something," or he'll go, 34%, 34%, 34%, 34%. Learned empathy at 30. Wait, you learned empathy, Enjoyer? Learned empathy at 30? 34%? 34% learned empathy at 30? And now, and then you'll get, they literally sent CPS and skulls to his house. And now we're getting kids that he met. He was platforming allegations about kids that he met for this entire segment. For for this entire fucking segment. Just the endless, non-argument, virtue signal statement that's emotive enough to land with the audience without him having to explain it.
And I'm showing it to people like, look what this piece of shit said. It's wrong. It's wrong to do. And I didn't, I didn't come to this overnight.
Like, if I'm iDubbbz and I want to make this argument, and I even want to use that screenshot, I would just pull it up on screen and say, hey, Ethan, this guy right here says you molested your children. Why are you spending your time going after Denims, Frogan, and Caseytron when there are people who are making claims about your family on social media in this manner? Now, I think that he's had an interaction back and forth with Destiny about similar things, and I think this clip from Destiny is something
that's pretty much what he said. He just left it on screen. If you don't remember, Nick, that's what you guys are meant to have an issue with. But obviously that's explained by the fact Ethan was going fucking crazy, saying insane personal shit about iDubbbz for fucking months while reacting to his streams, so iDubbbz put it up as a watermark to fuck with Ethan back. And then suddenly the argument's on a bit shakier ground, isn't it?
This guy right here says you molested your children. Why are you spending your time going after Denims, Frogan, and Caseytron when there are people who are making claims about your family on social media in this manner? Now, I think that he's had an interaction back and forth with Destiny about similar things, and I think this clip from Destiny is something that you don't really need to engage with because it's so ridiculous. It obviously didn't happen, right? There's no reason to bring attention to some fake fucking DGG chat message or whatever the fuck that it came from. I don't think he has to respond to it. But that's iDubbbz's argument in a way that doesn't get him into this position. And I don't even agree with the lawsuit. I just don't know why he chose to go about it in the stupidest possible way. You can there's a way to navigate that screenshot and make a coherent argument that he just couldn't compute with his head.
Right? Like, to be frank, I'm angry.
Yes. iDubbbz is the one who struggles with making a coherent argument. Of course.
I do not like Ethan. I think he's doing a lot of...
All right, chill. You already said it, bro. We don't need to, really... No, I'm kidding. I don't care. He can say it. He can say whatever he wants.
The way he rebroadcast and made it look like he endorsed it. Well, I would agree that if you put it on for 40 minutes and say one time that you disavow it, there are people who
say one time, did he?
Come to the
That's a lie.
that you support it.
Disclosure day. Where were you?
If I did pop in, I haven't seen it yet. If I did pop in, it would be one of the far shots to the wider crowd. I think there's one that could be a candidate, but I haven't seen it close enough to know if my elbow made it in.
People online.
But it's the opening scene. It's the wrestling scene.
And it changed the way that I was thinking about it.
If the point was so unclear, how does Nick understand the point so perfectly? Well, Nathan, because Moist Critical said it.
I think what he's trying to say is his judgment was clouded through anger. He was on snark, man. I'm being dead serious. These communities are literally rot for your brain. Like, I'm so serious. We've seen it so many times, time and time again. These people, whoever allies with them just gets, eaten alive from within.
I genuinely think that streaming makes, stupid people put themselves in tremendous harm. We fuck things up on stream sometimes, but I like to think that I do the best I can in most cases to try to correct those things or engage positively or engage coherently with claims. And when there are things that are thrown at me that I don't really think I'm confident enough to talk about, I kind of just express that and say, we'll look at it another time. When an allegation comes out against Hassan Piker that I don't think I can adequately research live on stream, I'm like, yeah, let's take a look at that next show or something like that. I think that dumb people will make extremely poor decisions because they're really not good at this, but they've chosen to do that for financial reasons. I don't know. Sometimes streaming is more work than it's worth for people who are coming up.
And from without. But anyway, he's saying the right thing now, and I appreciate it.
Hold up, Nick. You're part of the best opening in cinematic history. I don't know if it's the best opening in cinematic history. I haven't seen the movie. But for Disclosure Day, the opening with the AEW wrestlers.
Commentator of the year, the best commentator of the year.
Tons of fun.
Saw Disclosure Day. Great movie. But why was I hate everything? Provincial and Keemstar as the president.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's
Bravo,
a different.
Spielberg.
Yeah, I feel like that's a different thing that you're talking about there. But yeah, no, it was really cool. We were at the theater. I was in the rightmost crowd and I was in the back crowd at different points in the filming. We were there for a while. We got to watch the AEW guys slam into each other all day while Steven Spielberg directed. There were 3 different groups: the left group, the right group, and then the bottom group. The bottom group was where Emily Blunt was, and then after that, everybody kind of shifted around. Yeah.
Hate it.
Very fun, very fun. I had a great time doing that.
I didn't think about it. I didn't ground myself. I didn't think about, like who is actually being affected in this instance. And Ethan's family and his kids.
I mean, I don't want to be too critical, but
They were giving us like red hats,
Yeah, I
and
just
the
put food
implication
in.
was that they were like Trump hats.
We're gonna be eating soon.
We thought it was like a MAGA thing, but I don't think that's actually represented in the movies. Yeah, there were like some people who went to the AEW event that were assigned the red hat. I did not have the red hat, but I had the hoodie. I was wearing the logo hoodie.
apathy enjoyer. I'm not. No, you know what? I'm gonna let that slide. It's just a little. I'll be on. Okay, if I'll just say one thing because I am trying to be gracious.
He's actually being affected in this instance.
Really. Empathy enjoyer.
Oh, dude, Josie just got a fucking shout out. Are you gonna put that in your intro? Empathy enjoyer.
Okay, I let it go.
And Ethan's family and his kids are being.
That's it. I'm gonna let it go.
Affected.
Isn't that empathy enjoyer? Isn't the person who runs that account like some bed blob furry? Isn't that like a thing? That Josie person's like a bed blob furry. Is that? Am I crazy?
Wait, I didn't see what pissed him off.
Is it that one?
Okay.
Being affected in this instance.
One thing because
they're like some bed blob autistic furry from Nick's community who had like another channel and they made like a post announcing the empathy enjoyer one. It's some shit like that.
I am trying to be great. Apathy enjoyer.
I forget exactly what it is, to be honest. I forget exactly what it is.
Affected.
Wait, I didn't see what pissed him off.
Okay.
It was something like that.
Being affected in this instance.
One thing because I am trying to be great. Apathy enjoyer.
Like who is actually being affected in this instance? And Ethan's family and his kids.
I mean, I don't want to be too critical, but apathy enjoyer.
Oh, I get what he's saying. It's like you're Mr. Empathy Enjoyer, but you had to stop and take a thought to see, oh wait, maybe making a comment about kids getting molested would be a weird shot to throw at somebody that you're mad at, considering it affects the entire family. Yeah, I mean, no, I see what he's saying. I see where he's going with it.
And
you would think the guy who preaches empathy all the time would have identified that a bit sooner.
Ethan's family and his kids.
I didn't know what he meant.
Are being.
I can't believe Nick's elbow. No, maybe not my elbow. Maybe nothing. Maybe I'm a ghost in the room.
That's
guys. Remember, if you say that you think empathy is important, you're expected to be a Christ-like figure who, even when suffering like a year of the most deranged personal attacks, outright just like defamatory statements, frankly, from Ethan at various points, you have to just front that. You have to take the brunt of that for a year. And if you ever show anger in response, you're not actually empathetic. You're not. If you ever have a moment where you are angry and go too far in response, past your own standards, you actually don't care about empathy at all. You actually don't care about empathy at all. Let's just totally ignore the guy pushing him to the absolute fucking breaking point for a whole year. Let's ignore that. He stepped outside of his values one time for 20 minutes or 40 minutes on a stream. 36, I believe, technically. So he doesn't believe any of it.
I'm gonna let it go.
Affected. I just because.
Did you get to see him giving direction? I was watching Steven Spielberg and the guys the entire... Dude, it was so cool to watch Steven Spielberg direct for hours. It was a great time.
Like Ethan, I think it's wrong to find an attack vector that is his.
He was like mic'd up and stuff. We could all hear him.
Kids, it's foul. It's not okay. And I think it was wrong for me to use the Destiny screenshot as a cudgel to make my point. I didn't need to use the.
Thank you.
The thing is, he literally could have used the Destiny screenshot, acknowledged that it was likely not accurate, and still said, but this guy is going after you this hard and you've got nothing to say. And it wouldn't have led to the implication that Ethan's children would be like, you understand, he still could have even used this screenshot without the implication being there.
Apology accepted.
Nicholas, the goat. Thank you for the $5.
Thank you,
man.
Dickers, for the raid. I can imagine that it's going to be an exciting time.
I missed the start of the story. Is that what he's saying? He did an extras thing. He did an extras thing, and he's a fat Trump supporter in the background of some Spielberg movie.
for your viewers to be at my stream. Thank you.
Destiny screenshot to make my point. There's a million other ways
Hebrews. Thank you.
I could have done it, but I didn't. And I regret that I didn't, and I regret that I ever put that screenshot on my live stream. You know, that's the main reason why I feel like I do need, for myself, for my soul, to own up to this and acknowledge that I went too far. It wasn't okay. Ethan and Hila and their family do not deserve that. At the end of the day, whatever happens with the lawsuit is what it is. For myself, I needed to make...
Yeah, again, I'm just pointing this out. Whatever happens with the lawsuit, I needed to point this out for myself. To call this not genuine is to admit that iDubbbz thought he was going to just sacrifice himself to the corn. The only way he could have possibly got out of this if Ethan was went full litigious mode on this is if he fled the country. So unless he had his bags packed and was ready to come back to the great new world or whatever, this would have ended the entire lawsuit.
Make it known on the internet that what I did was wrong, and I don't want to be that person. I don't want to behave that way.
I think he's being genuine. I think Ian has a conscience, you know, and I think once the buzz and the high of being
sorry, 1 second, guys, 1 second,
cheerleaded by all these like really sick bad faith people online, once that, like, it's like a post nut clarity type of...
Dude, every time this happens now, I got people asking if they've had a fucking cum jar and spam.
Okay, I'm back. I can pull this up now. I don't know if I can read it all, but I can certainly pull it up. Luigi Mangione's attorneys will present a psychiatric defense at trial, arguing that he killed United Healthcare's CEO while experiencing extreme emotional disturbance. The proof is in the pudding, America. Being Italian is a mental disability. Here's a hint. I could have told you that for free. It's high time we kick every last guinea and back to the wastes of Sicily where they belong.
The beat, right?
You got in just in time.
And you're like,
no relevance to the content we're currently
watching. You know what's
watching,
funny is
obviously.
We watched a clip earlier today of someone raiding into an extremely loud sound effect, and that just happened on the stream.
And I feel like he kind of realized over time that that wasn't the right thing to do. And I appreciate it. That's it. I mean, listen, we all make mistakes. I've made plenty of mistakes and said dumb things in my life. That's fine. Like, he can own it, and that's it. That's great. I appreciate it.
Yeah, like Ethan in particular got completely annihilated in the and I doubt that he would even disagree with this. Got completely annihilated when he was talking about Anissa Jomha's ex's age. That's why one of the reasons I thought this was so fucking crazy in the first stream, because he made an insane thing about like he just blind fired.
I don't think he even brought that up when he first covered this. I don't think Nick even brought that up. I could be wrong. I don't think Nick brought that up when he first covered this. And I noticed nowhere near the same level of condemnation here. When Ethan was actually making an allegation, actually making a grooming allegation against Anissa, no heat. iDubbbz brings up someone else making a pedophile allegation about Ethan, not making it himself, in fact, explicitly stating the opposite. And that's the worst thing in the world.
Ethan in particular got completely annihilated in the and I doubt that he would even disagree with this. Got completely annihilated when he was talking about Anissa Jomha's ex's age. That's why one of the reasons I thought this was so fucking crazy in the first stream, because he made an insane thing about like he just blind fired a comment about Anissa and the age of her former partner. And it turned out to not be true, and he had to delete it. I think he apologized for it.
Appreciate it. That's all you had to say.
Like, a lot of the people who were pushing back, saying this lawsuit's the greatest thing ever, acted like it would be completely impossible to find yourself in this situation, right? I mean, Ethan's had to pay out a defamation suit to Ryan Kavanaugh, right? Was that not defamation? And you're like, oh, Nick, you're just worried. It's like, dude, Ethan literally has found himself in this position. It's kind of what is it? It's a very chatter-centric argument. Like, well, that's cool to hear from you, mister. I can literally just say any kind of defamation I want, and the internet will never hold you accountable for it. But for people like me, yeah, I mean, this is something that we have to actually consider. I don't know. Food for thought.
I want to make content that I'm proud of. I don't want to give in to a harassment back and forth online. I want to put my energy into...
What is harassment back and forth online? That's the thing I don't understand. I think that iDubbbz just calls YouTube drama harassment. Like, that's just the baseline. Like, some people call it slop. iDubbbz has decided that his version of slop will just be harassment. Is he acknowledging that he's harassing him?
Making content that I can be proud of and that I'm not going to be...
Because harassment back and... If I said you're doing harassment back and forth with me, that would be me admitting that I'm harassing you.
ashamed of because I lost the plot.
The only thing that would make this video better is if he was in his dragon persona, issuing the apology from his dragon persona.
Oh, does he have the clip? Is he fucking... Are they setting it up? Oh, they don't have the clip. We watched it. Someone edited it over the dragon.
Persona.
I think the accent would get it for me.
Would you still have accepted that?
No. He would not have. Would you? Wait, dude, imagine if iDubbbz was like, and now I've said my piece.
Yeah, no, for real,
but
Nathan. Anyone that makes a stupid take, like, oh, you should never call CPS for something online. We're going back to 2013. We're auditing your DeOrio's takes. We're checking. We are checking.
Someone else is still here. And he like fades in that he's going to bring Anissa on to talk. And then all of a sudden it just cuts to the Scorched Lagoon being like, hello, I would like to apologize on behalf of iDubbbz.
I probably...
Like Anissa goes to sit down and it just cuts to the dragon. Would be the most cinematic thing in fucking YouTube drama history.
Probably would have respected the game, yeah.
What if he did the voice?
He would have to do the voice.
Today, I can't even imitate it. Yeah.
Today I am issuing an apology.
That was pretty good, yeah.
I'm just picturing Anissa just comes over silently, looking like she doesn't want to be there, and she goes to open her mouth, and it's just, boom, cut, Scorched Lagoon. Hello, everyone!
That's the only thing, but still, I think it's good.
I want
We're here for your inspection!
to stay focused. I want to check.
I don't know why, for some reason, I don't remember what the Scorched Lagoon sounds like. He just sounds like Zach Hadel playing an old guy in Smiling Friends. He has that like same character voice for like the guy who like uses the thing. It's like, oh, I use my nose or whatever, like to hit the things, like that guy.
Check in with
That's what I'm picturing for some reason.
myself and know
Whoa, did that guy just turn into sad?
what it is I want to be and what I want to do and what message I want to spread. And this isn't a message I want to spread. So
I noticed Anissa's not involved in the apology. Well, the reason why she's not involved in the apology is because it's not related to Anissa. Anissa didn't say these things. Anissa wasn't being sued. People were saying, why is the content cop still up? The content cop is up because it has nothing to do with the lawsuit. The expectation that iDubbbz is going to just shut up and go away and never talk about Ethan again is not accurate. There's, to my knowledge, no gag order, no reason why you can't criticize him again in the future.
Would that be a problem, Nick? If there was a gag order in one of these lawsuits?
And I think that's good. I think that's awesome. I would be very disappointed if it turned the other way.
I'm sorry to...
I think that people should be allowed to be wrong online indefinitely when they're talking about fucking YouTube drama. That's why there are other people who talk about YouTube drama.
Ethan and Ela and your family, you guys didn't deserve that. I'm going to think about all of this a lot more, I'm sure. But for now, I really do want to just get back to making the content that I want to make. Having said all that, I wish everyone the best.
I legitimately think I could ghostwrite this guy into being funny again. I have so many good ideas for iDubbbz.
You couldn't. You certainly fucking couldn't. That's why nothing you've ever done has ever had the cultural relevance of iDubbbz. You actually couldn't.
I could fix this dude entirely. If this guy would give me an opportunity in 6 months to ghostwrite him back to a career, not that I would necessarily want him to become popular again, I just think I could do it for sport. I have so many good ideas for this dude. Hey!
Kuihman, aren't you in favor of the gag order? Yeah, how could you tell? You must have seen one of the 10, 20 videos where I said, it's really awesome that Caseytron's under a non-disparagement agreement. I support non-disparagement agreements over internet drama. When someone's saying reasonable criticisms of you and you sue them for copyright and then get a non-disparagement agreement, I think that's really cool. You must have heard me say that like one of the 600 times I've said that. That's probably where you got the idea from, right?
Hey, Lus, I very much enjoy this turn of events. Yeah, me too, buddy. Yeah.
I genuinely want to...
I can fix him. I legitimately do think that if he gave me creative control and told him exactly what to do, and it wouldn't just be like, I'll burn the Hassan bridge. In terms of just like a direction to take his channel, I think I could fix it.
See a better world, and I do not want to be a contributor to what makes it terrible, so...
but he wouldn't be funny. That's where I come in.
So long. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, so there it is. Appreciate that. And yeah, that's it. Totally. I left a comment where she was kind enough to pin.
Hi, Ian. Oh, he's reading it. I don't have to read it.
Hey, Ian. Appreciate the thoughtful apology. It means a lot. I've instructed my attorneys to drop the lawsuit entirely. So there's that.
Leaving my friendships behind.
Shout out to Kevin Adomitus. That's my arch nemesis. He gave $10. He said Ethan is funny, guys.
Is fixing him your version of LOLcow Live? Yeah. Yes. I actually talked to Keemstar recently, and I'm not going to divulge any of the conversation I had with him, though he did paint a very compelling picture on why I was correct. I know Keem has every incentive to say that YouTube drama is fucking real on his platform, but the stuff that he told me privately made me think that I was right when I was talking about the Boogie situation. I think that shit was real. I think Boogie did try to fuck him over for content. I think he explicitly did it at a time when Keem said that he wouldn't be around. I think that shit was not fake, and under any circumstance. But I also got an explanation to Keem about LOLcow in general. I hope Noah apologizes too. Oh, I think you said I hope Nick apologizes too. I hope Noah apologizes too, so the money can actually go to charity. Giving money to the lawyers is money to the devil. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he will. I don't think that's gonna happen. But I mean, I think that would be the best course scenario. I think kind of closing the door on this arc would be a very good thing. But I did talk to Keem, and without sharing anything that he's explicitly told me, I kind of get it. I kind of get why he chooses to do LOLcow. The methodology has made a lot of sense. Imagine if you've been doing something for a real long while. Let's say you were like the coach of an NBA team or like an NFL team or like a hockey team, and you still really like the sport, right? Like you like being around the sport, but you're a little older now and you can't really play the sport as much. What if you became like a manager? You started playing NFL Manager on your computer, and
well, this is like totally fucking worthless. Who cares?
And all I'll say is, in regards to those things,
I actually wasn't shooting up this time. I was eating. Ruining my fast, ruining my stint of anorexia.
I really can't blame him for the decisions he's been making, okay? But those ones are significantly more personal. Let's just say it's been worth his while.
Gotta fact check that.
How do you fact check that? An opinion?
It fact checks everything.
Okay, fact check it. Am I funny?
Dude, he needs to bring on the guy who rates apologies. We need a guy who rates hilarity. We need to know. We need somebody who can determine what exactly is funny empirically.
You do you're pretty funny.
Okay. All right.
Leaky Nick. Oh, don't say I'm leaking, bro. You can find those websites. They're not exact, but they're ballpark estimates.
Okay, other than that, you great guy.
I think, what did chat say? What's the percentage that Keem makes off all his shows on the network? I was under the assumption, before chat corrected me, that he gets one position. So if there's like 3 people on a show, he's the 4th guy to get 25%. But people in chat are telling me it's as high as 50. That's fucking crazy if that's true.
Yeah, listen, that's really all I ever wanted.
W Keemstar taking 50% of Tommy C's money. We love to see it. We love to see Keemstar taking 50% of Tommy C's earnings. But what does it look like when Keemstar takes 50% of Tommy C's earnings? What does that look like, guys? What does that look like? What does that look like? I think it looks something like, if I can find it, I just can't. This is the wrong one, but it's good enough. Where's my man? I can never find the ones I want. I can never find the Keemstar dancing clip I want. Was it this one? It's this one, isn't it? I think it is, but I fucked up the URL there as well. There we go. There we go. That's the one. What a fucking hero. Thank you, Tommy C, for 50%.
Yeah, no. And, yeah. I don't care about all the other shit he said, and I don't think people need to care about it. Not on my behalf.
Ethan, I just asked Claude AI.
AI? No!
Who's Claude?
Anthropic's AI?
I never heard of
Dude, Claude is the guy, he's the new employee at work that's taking your jobs.
that guy before.
Dude, they got Claude.
Okay.
Okay, that's all the relevant part of that segment, I'm pretty sure.